In Korea, you'll see this food everywhere. On trains, in schools, at convenience stores, on hiking trips, even during picnics near the Han River. It's simple. Just rice, seaweed, and a few fillings rolled together. But somehow, kimbap became one of the most important foods in everyday Korean life. So why do Koreans eat kimbap everywhere? And how did something so simple become such a cultural icon? At first glance, kimbap might look similar to sushi. But in Korea, kimbap means something completely different. Because this isn't luxury food. It's practical food, comfort food, a meal designed for movement. And in many ways, kimbap reflects how modern Korean life works. The exact origin of kimbap is still debated today. Some historians believe it was influenced by Japanese sushi during the colonial era. Others argue that Koreans had already been wrapping rice in seaweed long before that. But one thing is certain. Modern kimbap evolved into something uniquely Korean. Unlike sushi, kimbap is usually seasoned with sesame oil instead of vinegar. The fillings are also different. Instead of raw fish, you'll often find ingredients like pickled radish, egg, spinach, carrot, fish cake, beef, or even tuna and cheese. Over time, kimbap stopped being associated with tradition alone. It became everyday food. The reason kimbap spread across Korea was simple. It was portable. Easy to carry, easy to share, and easy to eat almost anywhere. As Korea modernized rapidly, people needed food that matched a faster lifestyle. Workers needed quick meals. Students needed affordable lunches. Families needed something practical for travel. And kimbap solved all of those problems. You could pack it into a lunchbox, bring it onto a train, eat it during a road trip, or buy it quickly at a convenience store. It became one of Korea's most reliable foods. Not fancy, not expensive, just dependable. But kimbap became more than convenience food. It slowly became connected to Korean memories. For many Koreans, kimbap reminds them of school trips, when parents woke up early to prepare homemade rolls before sunrise. It reminds them of family picnics, with large containers of kimbap shared together outdoors. And especially in Korea's hiking culture, kimbap became almost essential. Because after climbing mountains for hours, simple food somehow tastes better. That's why you'll often see hikers in Korea carrying foil-wrapped kimbap inside backpacks. Not because it's luxurious, but because it feels familiar, comforting, reliable. Today, kimbap exists in countless versions. Classic vegetable kimbap, tuna mayo kimbap, spicy pork kimbap, cheese kimbap, mini kimbap, triangle kimbap from convenience stores. Some restaurants even sell premium luxury versions with expensive beef and seafood. But despite all these changes, the purpose of kimbap stayed the same. Fast, simple, accessible, a food made for everyday life. And maybe that's exactly why it survived. Because while trends constantly change, people will always need comfort food. Outside Korea, many people compare kimbap to sushi. But emotionally, they play very different roles. Sushi is often treated as restaurant food. Something elegant, something carefully presented. Kimbap feels more personal, more casual, more connected to ordinary life. It's the kind of food people eat on the floor during picnics, inside trains, or quickly between busy schedules. And somehow, that simplicity became part of its identity. So the next time you see kimbap, remember, you're not just looking at seaweed and rice. You're looking at one of Korea's most practical cultural foods. A meal built around movement, family, routine, and everyday life. Simple enough to carry anywhere, but meaningful enough to stay with people for generations.